The Phillies juggernaut continues. 10-1 win tonight against visiting Toronto. And we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Ben Davis, I'm Michael Barkamp. Ben, when you look at this team and what it has done, Cristopher Sánchez to start, we wondered what we were going to see from him. He comes in with an ERA approaching 4, and now it's way closer to 3. He has a solid outing tonight, and that was a sigh of relief, wasn't it?
It was, and it's nice to see him make the adjustments from that last start where he could not control his changeup. Tonight, that changeup, and we'll get into it a little bit later, his changeup was outstanding tonight. His fastball command, glove side, so into righties, away to lefties, was outstanding. And this lineup just continues to click. Murderers Row, we never got to see them play in 1927, but this has to be close to what they were able to do back then.
You take a look at the numbers from this win tonight and from this still young Phillies season. 26-11 record, best record in baseball, leads the Braves now by 3.5 games in the East. Best start to a season since 1993. The 93 Phils, the John Kruk Phils, were 27-10 through 37 games, but they'd be closing in on any record that they laid down. 18-3 record in the last 21 games, 24-7 since April 3rd when they dropped their first 2 series of the season. That's amazing. 11-1 record in the last 12 games, won 11 straight home games, second longest streak in Citizens Bank Park history. They will tie for the longest streak in the ballpark's history with a win tomorrow over Toronto. And Bryce Harper said something that I thought was interesting. We have to keep this going all season long. We play a season for a reason. Can they do that? Keep this going all season long?
Well, that would be a historic pace. It's going to be hard to sustain, I think, on both ends of the baseball, pitching-wise and offensively. But this is a ball club. If any team could do it, I think this ball club is poised enough to do it because, and I always talk about the professionalism, they just don't take things for granted. They don't say, well, I had 4 hits yesterday, I don't have to get any hits today. It's just not the way they go about their business. And I think from a pitching aspect, a lot of these guys, like Cristopher Sánchez tonight, possibly pitching for his starting spot. And he went out there and he shoved against the Blue Jays. He was outstanding tonight, and then Turnbull comes in and does his job, and it just gets better and better and better. And offensively, can Rob Thomson do anything wrong right now? I mean, The guy just said, you know what, Kody Clemens, that guy just had an 18-game hitting streak. Go replace him and go hit a triple and a home run and have 4 RBIs. Go ahead. Go out there, kid. It's unbelievable.
Nothing that John Kruk couldn't do. Oh, speaking of John, let's go back across the street and check in with the Krucker. Called tonight's game, as we saw with Tom McCarthy. John, when you hear Bryce Harper say what he said to you and Tommy, got to keep this going all season long, it would seem to be unreasonable to expect that. Almost every World Series champion has had streaks of 10 losses here and there, sometimes even 2 or 3 times in a season. But they're doing it, man. I mean, how long can they do it?
Well, as long as they stay healthy, that's the biggest thing. Now, Trey's on the injured list. We understand that. But if that starting staff can stay healthy and all 6 of them can stay healthy, and that way it affords you to skip a guy later on, when it starts getting really hot, you skip a guy maybe here and there, but you have 6 able starters. And, when you're Taiwan's only had a couple starts, but when you're the original 5 before Taiwan came back, they had their highest ERAs now. What, Cristopher Sánchez with a 3? What did you say, Ben? 3.25?
3.22.
Oh, my bad. But when that's your worst starter, you're pretty damn good. And this team is really, really good.
John, you're looking at this Cristopher Sánchez, how he was able to change it tonight. Really, 2-part question. What did you see different from his last start, and what did you see out of Bryce Harper tonight in the last couple games? And what his swing looks the same to me, but yet he's getting different results. Does it just a matter of staying in the zone?
Yeah, before he hit the grand slam, you could just tell he swung at a pitch, fouled it off, and or he might have taken a pitch for a strike, and you could see you could just see it in his eyes, like no big deal. When you're struggling and you take a strike, a ball you think maybe you should have attacked, sometimes you can see it in the face like, wow, it's just not working for me now. You could tell just by looking at he is just zoned in right now, and the focus is unbelievable. And as far as Cristopher goes, we always talk about his changeup, Ben, and tonight Garrett Stubbs, they threw that changeup a ton, and it was electric, like it was his first handful of starts. And it reminds you a lot of Ranger. When Ranger's changeup's working, the fastball's popping better. Cristopher threw a couple fastballs at 96 mile an hour, and then you drop that 85 mile an hour changeup, man. And when the run it had on it today, that's if he can continue to pitch like that. I mean, I hate to be Rob Thomson and have to figure out which 5 of the 6 are going to start.
Yeah, your 93 team through 37 games, 27-10. And went to the World Series. You won the pennant, came this close to taking home the whole thing. You see similarities between the clubs, not just in their output, but the personalities on the team as well?
Yeah, what I like about this team is and last year, the year before, they went to World Series. Last year, of course, we know what happened at the end. But, this team, it seems like they have what's the right word I can use to describe it? A lot of people were down on them after they lost 6 and 7 in the NLCS last year to Arizona. A lot of people were down on them, and I've had a lot of people reach out to me. They stink. They can't. And I said, you know what? This team is different. It's a different attitude with this team. Like, they have fun. But, man, when it's game time and those 9 guys are out on the field, it's game on, and they don't take anything for granted. They know what they want to do. They know where they want to be at the end of the season. That's back competing for a world championship in the World Series. And, and I was guilty of this too. I thought the Braves were just going to be the East winners and everyone else is fighting for wild card in the East. But, this team, they win this division. They continue on like they're doing. People don't want to really come here and play. Now, Arizona nixed that last year at 6 and 7, but there's a lot of players that don't want to come here in the postseason and play, and I don't blame them.
No.
And if Bryce is swinging it and all the rest of them, man, we're in good shape.
10 runs batted in for Bryce Harper in the last 3 games, and he did that himself. He's the last Philly to do it in 2019 when he had 10, and in August, which is incredible, his first year with the Phillies. But you and Ben like to use an expression when you're trying to figure out whether a ball's a home run. The hitter will let you know, and I would also say the fans will let you know in Philadelphia what kind of team you have, right? Tuesday night in May, school night
packed.
In May, and packed, John.
Packed.
It's incredible. Just give us
it wouldn't surprise me if they're packed tomorrow, too, for an afternoon game on a Wednesday.
Yeah. It's going to be a beautiful thing. All right, my friend. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Johnny.
Appreciate it. We'll check you tomorrow.
All
John Kruk joining us from the ballpark, calling it with Tom McCarthy. And we were over there. We like to get over there as much as we can. We have to be in the studio, obviously, post-game. But to see the vibe, the pulse of the ballpark, and you're thinking, it's early May. And yet this place is jamming. That Harper home run, the Castellanos shot, the Stott, all the RBIs. The fans went nuts.
Nuts. 39,492 on May the 7th. May the 7th, isn't it correct?
Mm-hmm.
May the 7th.
Correct, sir.
I mean, the place is packed. And you're right, though. It is a vibe. It's a different feeling over at the ballpark. It's almost, they're kind of anticipating when the next big play is going to occur. And it's just, the players answered. They answered the bell. And it's just a different atmosphere. And to have that kind of turnout and that kind of backing, everywhere you go in town, there's red peas everywhere. It's Philly gear everywhere. And it's fun to watch. The double play ball, it was very helpful for him. It really is a pitcher's best friend. But take a look at this line. It was phenomenal.
And the bottom line's the bottom line. Longest outing of the season. And I know these guys, and Cristopher Sánchez in particular is a major league pitcher, but they're not immune to pressure. He knows that people are speculating about his future, who might go to the bullpen and who might remain in the rotation, so he had to, in effect, rise up to the occasion tonight. If it was a stinker, then things might have changed, and it was not.
It was not. And you saw that line, 89 pitches. He definitely could have gone out for the 8th inning, but they had to get Turnbull in there and get him some innings. And, again, what a great problem for Rob Thomson and his coaching staff to have, and the fact that they got some hired hands down there that can get the job done. And they are just all doing their job right now. And I hate to simplify it, but they're just playing really good fundamental baseball. Catch the ball, you hit the ball, you throw the ball. They're doing it all at a level that we just haven't seen for this amount of time. I mean, those numbers we showed earlier, 18-3 in the last 21 games, it looks like a misprint. But these guys, and that's why I think that they just want to keep their foot on the gas, because they know that baseball is the hardest thing to do and play, is to hit a baseball. And if you give up on that, if you just kind of take a day off, it's so hard to get that back. So you can't take anything for granted. That's why they don't give at bats away. They don't take pitches off. They don't take plays off. Yes, a physical error is going to occur every now and again. It's human nature. It's going to happen. But the way they go about it on a daily basis, yes, they have fun. You see these guys hooting and hollering, but when it's time to get the work done, when we're over there before the game or we're on the road and they're getting their ground balls, and you see just how hard they work, how early they're in the batting cage and taking flips from Kevin Long, and it's just, they just know how to do it. They know it works for them, and it's working really well right now.
It's called dedication. Let's hear from Rob Thomson post-game on this win.
Well, it went pretty good tonight, but, Sanchez was phenomenal and efficient. So, really, going into the game, we were kind of thinking like 5 and then go to Bull. But he was just so efficient and so good that we just kept extending him. And he still got his 2 innings in, so now he won't be down as long. So that's the good thing about it. So he'd probably have at least 2 days off. And he was good. I thought Bull was sharp coming out of the pen. He had 6 days off. First time coming out of the pen. I thought he was sharp. Fastball ticked up. Slider was good. Threw strikes for the most part. So, yeah.
Did he hypothetically pitch before the next Sanchez start?
Yeah. Yeah, he could. Yeah.
And then pitch the Sanchez start? Yeah.
No, maybe not. Yeah.
What in particular made Sanchez so much sharper than the last couple of outings?
His changeup. His changeup wasn't cutting. It was diving. He's getting swings and misses. He threw it a lot. He relied on it a lot. And, he threw strikes. That's what he's got to do. Sinker was good. He threw his breaking ball enough to keep people off it. It was good.
You guys have been hot even before Harper got really hot. Was there like a sense in there of once this guy gets going, we might really be able to take off as a team?
Once Harper gets going? Well, I think there's always a sense of that, because he's a guy that can carry a club.
How satisfying is it for you when you put a guy like Kody in the lineup?
It's awesome.
And he delivers like that?
It's really awesome. I'm so happy for him. I really am. We had good at-bats all night. We put 90 pitches on one of the best pitchers in baseball in 3 2/3 innings. That's some production, just that.
This is a couple times now where right when he's come up, he's like produced right away.
Yeah.
What enables a guy to kind of hit the ground running like that when they come up for triple?
Well, he's had every day at bats in AAA, and then he comes up here, and so the key is that when he doesn't play every day, to maintain that swing and maintain his plate discipline and things like that, his timing.
How happy were you with the at-bats against Berrios in particular, given the caliber of the pitcher he is?
Really good. Like I said, 90 pitches in 3 2/3. That it tells you all you need to know, really. The Harper Grand Slam just gave us some wiggle room there. So, but I thought we were good.
Was that crossover with Stubbs and Turnbull?
Yes. Yeah, he had called a curveball, and the Bull threw him a fastball.
Pitch count was broken?
I don't know.
I thought I saw him put down 2 fingers.
I didn't see that. I don't know.
Even with Sanchez cruising like that, you don't think about, let's just come year 6. Turnbull started getting up, I think, in the 6th.
Yeah, because we weren't sure. Kept extending Sanchez because he was so efficient, which is fine because that puts really another up for Turnbull. You know what I mean? And so we just kept calling down to the bullpen, just keeping them updated on what we were thinking.
Sometimes if he pitches 2 innings every few days, is that still a way to keep him?
No, he needs, at some point here in the next 10 days or 2 weeks, we need to get him stretched out.
Were you looking to give Spencer Turnbull a fresh inning after Chris Sanchez?
I had talked to him today, and in my mind, going into this situation, I thought, fresh inning, first, especially the first time. But when I had talked to Spencer today, he said, as long as I'm prepared and I've got my pregame preparation in all the pitches that I need in the bullpen, whatever situation I come in, it's not going to really bother me as long as I'm ready.
That he gives them extra bats. He knows we use the same model, gives them the same bats, and that bat had 8 runs batted in it tonight.
That's not bad.
No.
And even if he broke the one at the end, but he'll trade a bat. It's not his bat anyway. He'll trade a bat for an RBI any day of the week. But that's a lot of production. Against we talked about before the game, 274 is what right-handers were hitting against Jose Barrios. Just .088 was the batting average for lefties against Jose Barrios. But the lefties did a lot of damage against him tonight, and it was fun to watch.
Jose Barrios, 1.44 to 2.85. Here's the man who hit a grand slam off of him, Bryce Harper in the clubhouse.
I thought I hit it well enough. Wasn't sure, but it was nice to see it.
Barrios, I think, had only given up 7 runs in his first 7 starts. What do you think of his? What did you guys do tonight to get to him?
Yeah, I think we knew that going in, right? He's having a great year. That slider's his pitch, so we just tried to get him out over and try to stay on stuff that wasn't coming into us or going away from us. So I thought we had a really good plan. Obviously, he's having a great year, so being able to jump on him early and again, I know I talk about it a lot, but our starting pitching has been lights out, been really, really good, and we were able to do that tonight again with Sanchez, and then Bull coming out of the bullpen. So just really good all around.
Like that first at bat, you got an 0-2 hole and then really battled. The pitches got the single. How were you able to do that? And how key was that to get off to that kind of start?
Yeah, like I said, just trying to battle, getting stuff away from me, just trying to lay off stuff, outside the zone, and just try to lock in the best I can, and was able to score from first on, the Cassie could make it 1-0, and it was really good.
How impressive was it to see what Kody did? He's been shuffled back and forth a little bit, and he's made the most of his opportunities. But what did you see out of that back?
Yeah, he's a stud, man. Anytime he gets up here, he's just another ball player coming up and playing the game. So it's fun to watch. He has great at bats, professional at bats. For him to be able to come up, go down, come up again, and do what he does. Same mindset. Having that, he had a great spring, right? Could have made probably any team out of camp, and just got the short end of the stick, and then comes up, does what he does in Cincinnati, and then comes up here and does that tonight. So just impressive. Shows what type of person he is, and he came from a professional family, so I think that helps too.